Hello and welcome back to another episode of Media Munchers. I'm Matthew.
And I'm Adrian.
And we got a little bit of news today, a little bit of tea to spill for you, Big Apple. We have some trailers and some teasers. We got more Rick and Morty because they're going on hiatus, which we can talk about too.
Yep.
And then finally we have a Barbarian review. So you ready to get into this, Shiznits?
Yeah.
Let's get right into it. The first article I have here is Christian Bale calls Thor: Love and Thunder filming monotonous. Quote, had no idea what to do. Do you know anything about his complaints on set?
So he was complaining?
Yeah. Apparently he did not have a great time filming this movie, which is a shame
I
because
didn't
he was
know.
arguably the best part of it.
Yeah.
Maybe not. Maybe it's not an argument. He was the best part
No,
of
he
it.
was.
It was pretty spectacular. So yeah, he's he's an acclaimed actor and all that good stuff. But yeah,
Sure.
apparently like he was just not happy. He said that there was a lot of green screen or like the medium how they shoot in. There's a lot of that going on in the film. And apparently, there's not much to go off of, in the world of green screens and whatnot. And so I guess he didn't have a lot to sink his teeth into. Just cry, Bale.
Yeah.
Do your thing. Pretend. So
he
it's a
was
shame.
by himself for a lot of scenes.
He really was, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, he really was. So that is a shame. I really wish we could have seen just a tiny bit more of all that. I want to see him. I wish we could have seen him slay more gods and whatnot.
Yeah.
He slayed one god. And then,
He's the God Butcher.
yeah. He's like a god butcher, not the god butcher in this one.
Yeah.
So that's a shame. Did you see this headline? Did you see that Dwayne Johnson says he's like basically no longer running for president? His daughter's his number one priority.
Oh, he was?
He was
like legitimately running?
Well, he wasn't like legitimately running, but he was talking about it for many years. He was like, oh,
Right,
that's
yeah.
something I'm setting my eyes on. It's something I think I can do. I can give back, whatever. And we all played off like, yeah, sure, okay, we'll see.
Uh-huh.
But the fact that he kind of like addressed it now is just interesting because it was insinuated that maybe he would have done it in 2020 and then he didn't.
Right.
We all know how that went. And then now I'm just like, were you ever gonna actually run? I don't know. And then he says his daughter's his number one priority.
Right.
He cited that he wasn't there enough for his first one, like his oldest,
Mhm.
because all the filming and whatnot. But I'm like, okay, I get it. You're not gonna run, whatever. You want more time. But it's like, my guy, you're about to take on like another franchise. Like
Yeah.
you're in. I'm sure it's not slowing down, buddy. You're like at your prime in terms of like turning out films. So I'm like, yeah, I don't know if I believe that excuse, bud, but whatever. Do what you want to do. I don't know. I just think that's a little. The thought that he had is like, okay, let me come out, let me make an announcement, because it was on an interview. It was like a whole like 60 minutes type deal.
Oh, okay.
And it was like some sort of journalist asking him, and then he got it. He went into it. I'm like, that's weird. It's like an announcement to say I'm not running. It was just.
Yeah, that is.
I thought it was just like talk, but it's interesting. It's interesting. You want to get into some trailers, Big Apple?
Yeah.
All right, let's go with the blockbuster. Let's start with that.
Sarcasm, she almost got you.
Come on, man.
Stupid. Oh my God, are those kind of sitcoms kind of your cup of tea, Big Apple, or it's whatever to you?
It's always hard to get into them based off the trailer, I think.
That's fair.
Yeah. Is this supposed to actually be based on the last blockbuster?
I don't think so, because I thought I'm gonna look this up. I thought the last blockbuster was in like Alaska or something. I feel like this is a fictionalized take on that. You know what I mean? And they're using that name to kind of reel you in, because okay, it's the biggest movie rental place that everyone remembers, right. in America. So, and what threw me off the most was that it seemed to be set in present day. Like I saw someone with like a new iPhone or like within a year or whatever, and there's like modern references, and like I've worked here since I was in 7th grade. And I was like, but I thought it would have been like more of a period piece if they're going for that. You know what I mean? Like, oh, like this is a late 2000s or early 2010s. You know what I mean? But it looks like it says it's in Bend, Oregon in 2019. The world's last remaining retail store. Yeah, I don't know where the show's gonna take place, but that's interesting. Yeah.
I wonder how much this is actually gonna have to do with Blockbuster.
Well, that makes
Is this a series or is this a?
It looked like a sitcom series. It didn't look like a movie.
Right?
Yeah, it was set up like that. Like what are we gonna do this week? What wacky thing are we getting into this week?
Yeah.
But I like the energy of it, and like comedies, whatever. It's they're doing their thing here. Like it's like you said, it's hard to tell exactly from a trailer, but
Yeah.
I like the energy, and like it seems to know what it is. You know what I mean? And cast seems all right. JB Smooth's in there, Randall Park, some other faces, and I like it. I think they have a little roster going for them, some shenanigans, some hijinks. Did you like this is a total tangent. Did you like Space Force?
I've seen a couple episodes.
Oh, okay. It doesn't matter. It's canceled
Okay.
now.
Oh, it is?
They canceled it. Yeah.
Oh.
It's done. Rest in
Wow.
peace, Space Force. Oh well. You know what the cliffhanger was?
What?
There was a meteor coming to Earth. And then that's how they
Ironic.
ended it. Yeah, that's a bit ironic. But yeah, this could be interesting. You ready for the Super Mario Brothers official teaser trailer?
Yeah.
Let's run that, buddy. So, thoughts? Exciting? Not exciting?
I really like the animation.
Dude.
Animation looks stellar.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like I have no problems with it whatsoever. It looks so good. I was like, these look like high budget AAA video game cutscenes. Like if they did it like an intense like first person Mario like shooter game or something. Like these look like cutscenes. It looks so good. How do you feel about Bowser and Jack Black voicing him?
I think he sounds like almost perfect.
Yeah, like I like it. Like
good.
you can tell it's Jack Black, but he's still like doing the character as best as he can, and like it works. For me, it works.
Yeah. Did you see him at Comic-Con? The videos?
No, what happened? Should I look it up?
He's doing the voice of Bowser on stage, and like he threw like a backpack or something. Like you know how they have the shells with the spikes on them.
This one right here.
Yeah.
Check it out real quick. I'll put it on like.
He's going crazy.
Dude, he's such a character. I love him.
Yeah, I know.
Dude, he's into it. Look, he dyed his beard. Oh, he loves it. Oh, that's just a bunch of repeating angles. That's cool. That's fun. That's a good time. Yeah, no, I love it. I love it. I feel like he's very good at his voice work, and I'm ready for that. Yeah. And now let's move on to Pratt. Thoughts, concerns?
I'm still holding out. I feel like there wasn't enough. I don't know if those are necessarily the takes that they're even going to use.
That's fair. Like they're trying to throw something together.
Yeah,
that's fair.
Because you kind of heard like the last line he said
was a little more.
It sounded a little more like character at least.
Yeah.
I don't know that it would sound like Mario, but it sounds
more like
like he's trying something other than his normal voice.
Sure. Yeah. Because I mean, it was hard to tell from the woes and the what is this place, but I was like, that leans to more Chris Pratt than it did Mario. And then by the end of it, he's like, oh, okay, he's going for something more Italian-esque or whatever. Something. But you know what was interesting? Character voice work aside, is that when he was thrown in there and he was surprised, are we going to see a glimpse of outside the world? Like, is this like a anime isekai thing where he's like a normal plumber in a normal 3D world and then he gets thrown into the Mushroom Kingdom? Because that's what it looked like they were playing for a second. I was like, are we going to get some backstory here? Like, I don't know. I was just curious about that. So maybe we will, maybe we won't. How does Luigi fall into it? Does he fall into the same?
Right, yeah, because he was in that end tag.
He was. Yeah. So it's a stacked cast. So hopefully we get some good stuff. But it seems like it's gonna be a lot of fun. So I'm looking forward to it. Do you remember when it's dropping?
Did it say?
I don't know. I didn't misremember that. It just said soon. Okay. Weird. Okay, well, soon enough. Sometime next year. I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Let me see if this is the one I dropped and didn't label. Yeah, I think we both have it. Black Panther 2. Interesting. Okay, so it sounds like she could be the de facto Black Panther for who knows how long. I don't know. Unless it's a crazy fake out, but they're really setting up Shuri. So I mean, it's probably her.
Could be.
I
don't know. The cast seems to say otherwise.
Okay, well, we'll see. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, obviously, from the trailer, it only gives us that one.
It gave us a bit more than the teaser for sure, right? So I'm looking forward to that. There's a lot going on there. I still don't understand the main conflict. I don't know much about Namor. I'm not going to pretend to. But their weapons, is it more like, you think magic based, or do they have access to their own vibranium? Like, what's up with that? There's a whole rich world there we don't even really know about.
Yeah, I have no idea. I mean, there's rumors that they might introduce adamantium.
Okay, yeah. As like as a different alternative.
Yeah, it's like their
blend, their version. Okay, that could be it. Yeah, get some mutant stuff going in there.
I mean, obviously, they're supposed to be, like in the comics, they're from Atlantis. So.
Right. But they're not using that in this one, right?
Yeah, they're calling it Talocan, or however you pronounce it.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So that's interesting.
So maybe they have water-based weaponry or something.
For sure. Yeah.
But yeah.
You know what's interesting is that I still, not knowing anything, I wonder why he could be coming for the throat of Wakanda specifically, because they build up that conflict a lot. So it's like, do they have beef? Is it insinuated it has anything to do with the death of the king? Like, what's going on there?
I think it's actually supposed to be tied to the ending of the first Black Panther, where
the earthquake thing. Oh, that was a small bit. It was a throwaway line in Endgame, where they're like, "There's an earthquake off the coast of Wakanda."
Oh no! At the end of Black Panther, the movie, where they revealed themselves to the world.
Oh, you're saying it has something to do with that, you think?
Yeah, and they're like, what is it? Given like providing their resources to the greater world or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you think that it's possible that when they say resources, you don't think they mean vibranium, right? That's like giving away military and ammunition.
I mean, maybe not the vibranium itself, but like the knowledge that they get from it.
I see. Yeah. Like sharing technological advances and such.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. Color me interested. And that's coming out very soon. Isn't that around the corner? Like
November.
Next month? Yeah. So that's 11. Coming up. Get your tickets, Big Apple.
They're already on sale.
Oh, shiznits. Might have to secure those sooner than later.
Yeah.
Let's take a left turn here. Let's go into this Velma teaser. We have a lot, but we're getting through it. Interesting. Got some Harley Quinn energy there.
Yeah, I did feel that.
Right?
Yeah.
But I wonder. I don't know. I'm just interested. We'll see. I mean, hopefully it's fun. All good fun, adult animation, comedy, whatever.
Yeah.
I wonder how much of the other gang we're gonna see. And I know it's just on Velma specifically, and we saw like a picture of Daphne in the background with her eyes crossed out in red tape. So I was like, maybe she's is it an origin story like she said, or are they gonna sprinkle the group in? I imagine they would, right? Why wouldn't you draw from
it's an origin story.
That's kind of what she insinuated at the top. She was like, oh, we're gonna do an origin story of Velma, and that's kind of what they are going for. At least that's what it sounded like. But it could be fun. Could be fun entertainment. So
yeah, it looks okay.
It looks okay. Yeah. I'm not jumping for joy. I'm just interested.
Yeah.
Have you seen the trailer for Violent Night yet?
I did.
I have not. It's time to see what that's about. And I want to talk about it after, because I was like, why don't they make a horror Santa movie? And then this trailer came out, and I was like, let's watch this trailer. When he said I gotta watch, was that a fourth wall break, or is he just talking out loud? A fourth wall break.
Oh.
Or was he just talking out loud? It kind of seemed like a fourth wall break, but
yeah, it could be played as that.
Could be played as that. Dude, this looks fun. Like I'm like,
yeah.
It's like you saw how cheesy some of these lines were, bro.
Well, yeah.
Like you know what you're getting into. This is like a turn your brain off and watch Santa beat up some people. Come on. Like, come on, man. It's not high art, but it's fun. So that seems like a fun adult holiday movie, and I definitely am interested in watching that. So if not for anything else but David Harper being the drunk Santa. So I'm ready for that. Let's take a small break, and then we want to get into some Rick and Morty's.
Yep.
All right, cool. You didn't sound excited for Violent Santa.
Violent Night? Or
Night? Yeah, was it Violent Night? Yeah.
I don't know. It just looks like
what?
I don't know. It's kind of like Nobody.
I mean, it is from the same producer.
Right, it's the same people.
Right.
You know how like it was just kind of like a reason to make.
Yes.
What's his name? Look cool.
Odenkirk.
Yeah, Bob Odenkirk.
Right.
Yeah. No, it just kind of looks like the same.
Yeah, but at least like they're having fun with it. Like at least this is a more creative initial idea than just literally Nobody.
Sure. I wonder what they're gonna do in terms of like contextualizing it for Santa. Like, why does he have to, or like why is he so skilled in violence?
That's true.
Like,
okay, I like that.
What is that?
But what if they do a good job of that? You know?
I mean, they could.
We'll see. All right, we're back with our review of Rick and Morty, season 6, episode 4. According to the IMDb summary, Rick's latest piece of alien technology allows the family to order their sleeping bodies to perform tasks whilst they continue to rest. While the family sees the immediate benefits, the Knight family starts to question their side of the deal. So right out the gate, I enjoyed the horror elements. This episode got spooky in all the best ways. Yeah. And like that's not something they normally do, and that's what I love about Rick and Morty is they can do anything, any genre they want, or any time period, or any wacky space adventure, and it still works within the larger show. What other things did you like about this, Big Apple, or dislike?
Well, I think it was just that, like the way that they're branching out. It's like they continue, especially in this season, to show like a change of the nature of the show, like how they're functioning and everything. And I think just adding the horror aspect to the show.
Yeah, especially that quote at the beginning, and like just the grim music, and the use of music was really good, and like the strings would play up anytime something like terrifying was about to happen or someone was about to do something.
Yeah.
I really love that the bit about like the dishes needing to be rinsed off by the night people, or by the day people rather, becoming the philosophical crux of the entire episode. Like they really hammer it home towards the end. Like that's what the whole drama is. It's just about that. And I was like, I love how they can take something that mundane and spin it into a high, like, I don't know, a high art sci-fi like horror film or short. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everyone uses their night people to do different things. Rick and Morty get abs. Summer learns Spanish. Beth, of course, learns the trumpet, and then Jerry just is a pen pal, and that speaks to his character more. I like that he doesn't have any aspirations. He's just like, I just want someone to talk to who gets me for me. And that's literally all night Jerry is, and I was like, I love that. I love the podcast team. A boy can dream about reading ads. That was so stupid. All the bits they were doing are great. Going back to the horror stuff, the part where Rick was force fed his dirty dishes by evil Night Summer, that was gold funny for me. I love that. I love that. And the biggest plot twist is that Night Jerry ends up being useful. Like, he helps out.
Yeah, he was a bit of a hero this episode.
Yeah, and it's becoming a theme this season. Without getting into spoilers for next episode, which we'll get into. It's like, I like how just the ordinary, like, just, I don't know what you want to call him. Like, insult him all you want, but he's just an ordinary dude with no big aspirations. He's just a kind person most of the time when he's not being selfish or egotistical. So I just love how, like, he's the savior of this episode, and Rick doesn't like that. He never likes that. Do you have any other observations? Because I got a funny bit right here that I'm ready to share.
No, yeah, sure.
So one of the funniest bits in this episode is when, like, all the crazy action is happening. They're kind of like following acts. Like, every third act has some big action thing going on this season, and I love it. One of the funniest bits to me is when Rick punches Sleepy Morty's abs, and it ricochets and hits him out of the car and knocks him unconscious and able to help Night Summer out.
Yeah, that's right.
And then I got a big question for you, man. If night people are everybody's subconscious mind, then are we in for more, let's say, like, evil Summer activities moving forward in the show? Like, if she has all this repressed, like, a disapproval or anger or like beef with Grandpa, like, is she gonna try and strive for more power? Because we already saw it.
Well, I think they were making a lot of connections between her personality and Rick's and how. So yeah, they could probably play that up later, like, delve into that, how she's sort of a younger version of him.
Right, and she might even be closer to him than Beth is, because Beth is similar to her dad in some ways, but not in all of them, right? And I think Summer is, if there is ever going to be a 2.0 Rick, Summer could be that if they decide to go that way. So that's something to look out for personally. I got another question for you, Big Apple. If you had a night person, what would you make it do?
Oh man, I don't know. No, I mean, are we assuming that it could all, like, turn into shit?
Not unless you did something to piss them off. I mean, if you're good at rinsing your dishes off, I think you're gonna be all right.
If we're thinking in productivity, like they were, like that could end bad.
I think I'd just make them work out. Like, I think Rick and Morty had the right idea. Seriously, just getting reps in while you're sleeping. I think that's a great idea. How can that go wrong? Like, I don't know.
I don't know. Overwork yourself.
No, but I'd give them the same amount. Well, yeah, I see what you're saying. But it's like, I feel like I'd give them
you
a
gotta
reasonable
plan
amount.
meals too. Then
you gotta, like, refeed.
Yeah,
at
you just
night.
be constantly eating.
Oh damn! And you gotta wake up to a giant morning turd. You're just like, oh, yeah. Well, maybe. So damn, is there anything that is safe for them to do? Like, read or something?
Yeah, maybe read. I mean, they would get tired of that too, wouldn't they?
I mean,
just like you would.
You can plan breaks. I don't know, man. It could be fun. Maybe if you just did them, like, part time. You gave them a part time gig. You don't make them do it every night. Just part time. It could work. It could work. Okay, a highlight for me is when Summer turned Rick's line from season 1, episode 6 around on him, and she was like, "Sorry, Rick, your opinion means very little to me." And then she goes full Night Summer.
Yeah.
And then, like, that's I love that, because it's showing that it has been from the beginning. She's had beef with him, like, and how he behaves towards her. And then at the very end, the night people live for themselves, like, doing everything they want, like, very hedonistically. And then, like, they went broke. And I was like, all right, time to pawn off all their shit in the day people. And did you catch that joke when he's like, I have a device that'll solve all our problems, and it's insinuated they're going to kill each other?
Right, yeah.
With a gun. And then they end up shooting the device.
Yeah.
I was like, damn. I got dark for a second. Like, even darker than it was. But no, it was a pretty solid episode, and it's one I might come back to when I want to switch up the genre of the show. So, I mean, this season's been pretty good. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, it reminded me a lot of the episode where they had that alien that gave them false memories.
Yeah. And like the biggest parallels there were just like not knowing, or like waking up and finding a new memory, or finding yourself in a different place, or was it just like how dark it got?
Well, I think how dark it got, and also like the amount of, like, distrust that was within the family.
Right. Like one of the more chaotic moments at the end is when they're fighting. It's like a light switch. The day and the nights are punching each other in and out of consciousness.
Yeah, that
and
was
like,
really funny.
that was so well done because I was like, I could barely keep up. I was like, who's doing what now?
And then Jerry gets punched, but he's good in both.
He's good in both,
night,
or
night
bad
Jerry.
depending on which one you think about. Like if you're the Night family, he's bad.
If the Night family.
That was funny. He's like, I'm on your side. Like, oh yeah, sorry, long day.
Yeah.
That was great. Yeah, solid episode. I liked it more than I thought it would. But now we got to skirt into episode 5. Episode 5, Big Apple. Now this is the Panda Express episode. So after
we can call it that.
It is that. I mean, unless you want to call it the other thing, we'll get into that. After a fortune cookie at Panda Express somehow has the ability to change someone's fate, Rick and Jerry must go on an adventure to stop and steal this ability. Man, they went out of their way not to mention the entire episode. Bro, this episode pushes the envelope again. I mean, if you thought like the Beth's episode was uncomfortable, nah, not nearly. And poor Jerry, he's convinced that he's gonna have sex with his mother. Like his whole fortune's gonna come true.
Yeah, it's so crazy.
And then
it's funny how he's the punching bag no matter what.
No matter what. And he almost gets punched bad. What are you doing? Get over here, boy. Come on. Get over here. Come here. Come on. What? How are you gonna tease me like that? It's because you made a loud noise. I don't know. Anyway, are you up here or are you downstairs? Which one is it? I'm just gonna ignore you, Mikey. All right. Okay. He sure did. No, another observation I had is that Space Beth is in nearly every episode this season. Like, she's in the bit with the Oscars at the end. Wait, no, that's the next episode. But she's taking them to the zoo in this episode,
right? And
like she's hanging out with the family. She's like kind of like stepping in there, and I was just like, I really thought we were only gonna see her sparsely, and I was like, here we are. So I'm not complaining. It's just interesting how that when Summer asked her to stay around, she really did. Like she's coming around pretty often. I like how Rick doesn't appreciate how he didn't get a special fortune, and then like he decides to investigate further because he said he saves him, right? And then he turns on that device and he notices that there is a weird probability anomaly in Jerry's future, and so he does that whole like old school test with like the dick in the box thing and like piece of paper.
Yeah,
and I was like, what is going on here? And he's like, you're scaring me. What's going on? And he even like when they pull up to the panda, he's like, what do you think I am in the story? The father-in-law? Like MC vibes only. Like Rick's got to investigate, and even his ego comes into play later too. He's like, all right, like you're sending me mixed signals here. He's like, he thinks that it's all about him, and they're just like the Panda Express people are just like meth runners in the city, and then they have to investigate even further, and it just goes down this crazy rabbit hole. We have like a Gwyneth Paltrow type like influencer woman selling people their fate in this mega corporation with like a bunch of executives and stuff. There's a whole bunch of philosophical analogies there. Did you like all of Rick's Inspector Gadget moments? Like he has a tool for everything.
Yeah,
he literally has.
Well, it's funny how he even used Jerry as
he to deflect the bullets because his fate wouldn't allow
deflect the bullets, but also to punch through
the air vent.
The air vent.
Yeah, that was great. Hey, he really is a punching bag. Like this entire entire show, he is. But so I was talking about the philosophical like parallels with the executive woman trying to sell you your fate in a fortune cookie. But I want to know that weird fisherman's backstory. Where did he come from? How did he start working on that factory? Why does he want to have sex with a space beast? That was a character, let me tell you.
Yeah,
that was a character. He was weird. I did not like him, but I loved him. And again, we go through all this stuff. We see this crazy like ending third act thing with a bunch of different abilities. Someone who's like sticks to walls, and someone who like is like basically like fire and water benders and all that good stuff. Someone who can't die. And Rick's like, that's not as good as you think. Trust me.
He just like feels the pain of
my ribs,
being shot at
my organs
a dozen times.
Exactly, and just has to sit there and take it. We get a crazy like a little Akira type fight when like that lady like morphs into that ugly little beast, and then Rick has to fight him off some more. And then finally, the whole episode they're building. Mom's coming to town. Check your text. She's getting closer. Oh,
yeah,
she's
they're
here.
all like, flying through that wormhole.
Everything, yeah, exactly, yeah, it's like sucking everybody in, and of course her like skirt's already ripped, and Jerry's pants are off, and like he's about to do it. I was like, oh my god, we're doing this. And then Rick finally has to choose between saving him or keeping his invincible godlike powers and like maybe getting a chance to change fate or whatever. And then so of course he chooses to save Jerry, and in the process he ends up making a friend. He's like, fuck, I was invincible. Like he should become a friend.
Yeah.
And then we see more growth because like he punches him or whatever, and Jerry starts to cry, but then Jerry's over it, and then I guess Rick's over it, and then he looks at that fortune about like making a friend. that Jerry made for him hastily at the last second.
Right.
And it's just like, okay, he's coming around again some more. So
yeah, he has a little bit of remorse.
A little bit of remorse, a little bit of growth. So I don't know. On that note, like, how do you feel about all the canonical, like, the progressions of this season? Because I was reading some reviews and some people hate it. They're like, oh, it fell off after season 1, and like they want pure chaos and randomness. They don't want the.
Well, I think it speaks to the growth of the writers, like what they want to do with the show, and it by like having these like little nuggets of information added throughout the episodes. I think it can give them more to do with what they have.
Right. Like it'll guide their focus, if you would, or like maybe their creativity down the line. I like it too. I think it's for the better. I'm of the mind that like it's nice to build. It doesn't have to be not every story has to be like super world building, but like you said, dropping nuggets. There's nothing wrong with that because you're guiding the path, so to speak, and I like that.
I think it's also really cool because it kind of goes with the story itself. Because the whole last season, the climax was Morty, the evil Morty,
Morty,
ending the whole
central finite curve.
Yeah, central finite curve.
Yeah,
and so that kind of makes Rick now not the smartest person in the universe, but one of.
Yeah, exactly.
And so, like the next episode.
We'll get into it next week, but basically, when he's visited by the higher beings, the dinosaurs come back, and that whole joke and all that. Yeah, that was fun. I can't wait to talk about that one because he kind of gets put like not in check, but it's like it's almost there. Like he's on like almost equal footing with these creatures, and I like that. He's like they even say from one god being to another, right, or something like that. And then we'll get into that. That's a fun episode. I really like that one. But yeah. On that note, it's just like I really like where they're going with this, and
they really get to play with his ego more
in that episode, or you just
in general? Like in general,
they do
because he's not the smartest man in the universe.
And on that same note, because he's like this is the family he chose, even though he claims not to care about family and they're replaceable or whatever, he's gone to great lengths to try and maintain this specific family unit, the one he's created for himself.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So I think that's interesting, and I want to see where that goes. Do you think personally, on the note of last season, we're gonna see evil Morty again, or he completely clocked out and like there's no reason for him to come back?
I think they're probably gonna take another like long break from
sure
evil Morty,
maybe a couple seasons.
But I think we could probably see him like in 2-3 seasons from now.
I wonder what he'd be doing though. You know what I mean? Would he have like a normal life? Would he be ruling another universe? Like I wonder. And now that they've set up evil Prime Rick, like our Morty's original Rick. And what's he up to? Like, is he just a pure agent of chaos? He doesn't care. He's just living life on his own terms.
Yeah.
Or does he have a personal vendetta against the Rick who denied him, who curved him, like he does him, or he had him? So it's interesting. I don't know, but I do like how the show keeps you thinking, keeps your brain turning. Big Apple.
Yep.
So another great episode, and I'm looking forward to talking about episode 6 next week, and then when we come back from hiatus on November 20th, I believe.
Yeah. Yes, 6 weeks from now.
6 weeks from now. Yeah. And then there's only 4 episodes left, right? After that, if I'm not mistaken. Something like that.
Oh, yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
10 per season.
That's been the going number then? It must be.
I think they've been saying they want to do 10.
Just 10? Okay. Solid. Well, hey, quality over quantity, I say. So I'm with it. Take a very, very brief break, and then let's come back with Barbarian. We're back with our review of Barbarian. And right off the top, it's written and directed by a man of the name of Zach Kreger. It stars Georgina, I hope I said that right, Georgina Campbell, Bill Skarsgård, and Justin Long, who I was not expecting to appear in this at all. I mean, the trailer didn't give me anything to go off of, really. I mean, it was just kind of general horror. I was like, okay, well, this could be anything. I don't know.
Yeah.
What do I expect? So the official, synopsis from IMDb is that a woman staying at an Airbnb discovers that the house she has rented is not what it seems. And that's not even entirely accurate because she didn't really rent it. It was double booked. It's a whole thing. We'll get into it. But initially I don't enjoy horror movies. You know this. I'm sure people know this. And so I wasn't exactly excited to see this, but I had heard good things from you and other people. So I was like, okay, I'll give it a shot. And what I love about horror movies is that they face you to pay attention to like cinematography, especially in this film. There's some sexy storytelling going on. Like it's raining, it's dark, you're in a seedy neighborhood, like they're building it all up from the first shot. And like she goes up and like they do great storytelling. Like she's like, okay, she thinks she's here. She checks the number. She knocks. No one's there. She can't get into the lockbox or whatever. Eventually, the guy who's sleeping there, Keith, I think is his name, comes out and meets the girl Tess. And they have the whole exchange. all that aside, like camera work's great, but what I was really surprised is that the script like went through great lengths to hold your hand and walk you through why things happened the way they did. And it was very believable. She's like very apprehensive. She didn't want to stay there. Like, I mean, this movie would have you believe every single woman is living in a horror film every day. And I was like, damn, I believe it.
Yeah.
So I was scared for her every waking moment. They really played up Keith to be the bad guy. I mean, did you enjoy that build up?
Yeah.
Did you see a twist coming though? I mean, like, what was your mind?
I mean, they were giving like hints, like that door closing in the background.
Sure.
She was walking out.
Sure.
Into the room.
Excuse me. Jeez Louise. It's just allergic to horror films, so it's talking about it's a lot for me.
I get you.
No. Yeah.
No, yeah, and what was it?
There was a bunch of small things though, like him like not wanting to open the wine without her seeing it, like all this weird, otherwise creepy behavior that it seemed a little too on the nose for me. I'm like, I was like, is he the bad guy? Because you're really making me think he is.
Right.
But then like, what's in the basement? Like you said, the door closed. You're like, what's going on here? Is the house haunted? What are we in for? You know what I mean? And I was pleasantly surprised about how they set him up, only to pull the rug out from under us with all that. I was also impressed that nothing happened that first night. Like they actually had a lovely date night, like if you would, right? They got to know each other. They had some drinks. They slept in their separate beds, and then they got up. He left like a cute little note, and she went to her little interview, like what she was there for.
Right.
And I was like, nothing happened, like good or bad, nothing happened. I was like, okay, weird. And then they keep it moving, and so that threw me off. And then eventually, I don't exactly remember how, but she comes back, and then she starts investigating the basement. And then that's, I think, when she gets trapped the first time, right?
Yeah, she's looking for toilet paper.
That's what it was. Okay. So again, semi-believable, right? Like, okay, she's out. You got to go down. You see it there in the basement, whatever.
Yeah.
And then it closes on her, and she's like, what the fuck? And then all that, she finds a secret little string. They take their time. They take her time getting her down there. Like, remember how she's like, has to put the mirror underneath the light against the chair just to see down there? Because I think either her phone died or it wasn't bright enough or whatever it was. I don't know. I think she left it upstairs.
Yeah, she left it upstairs.
Again, back to that thing. She left the keys, I think, in the drop box, and then her phone. They push in. They get a good job of telling you this is what's going on. This is where her mind's at. And so eventually she gets down there. Oh, go ahead, take your call.
No, it's
scam. Okay. She gets down to the little sex dungeon or whatever that is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it pretty much is that, with a bloody bed and the nasty stained walls and like a camera.
Yeah.
It was so creepy, and you think that's it, right? And then I think we cut away. I don't even remember what happens. It's all a blur.
Well, from there she wants
Keith.
to get rescued by Keith.
She hears him, and then she finds that secret door, and then she goes down deeper, and then of course I think she
well, no, that's when Keith. So Keith saves her from the basement. They go back through, and he's trying to convince her that it's not that scary.
Right, he
goes down first, so that way, and she waits.
You're right.
Yeah, and then she gets curious because he's quiet.
Yeah. Dude, I can't believe that happened so fast. You're right. So he saves her. They come back up. He's like, let me check it out, which was so dumb. He was like, well, let me see. I was like, there's where the contrivances come in. There's a lot of those.
I mean, it's like a room with a bed and a camera.
Yeah, I know. It's like, how interesting could that be? And then the fact that he wants to see more.
Or how dangerous would that be?
I don't.
If it's just an empty room with a bed and a camera.
I mean, on the surface, it wouldn't be. But the fact that they had more, they had deeper. Yeah. And then it gets weirder. And then he just, in the span of like, what was it, like a minute or two of screen time, that he goes down to the deeper one and then gets like caught or whatever. I'm like, this guy was moving quick. He was like, what's going on here?
Yeah, like how did he get down there so fast? It was
I know.
So what did just Long's character say it was? It was like 9 feet.
Oh, he was measuring it. Yeah. I forget the exact measurements, but that guy was so. I cannot wait to get to Justin Long's part. That was so stupid. So long story short, in a crazy twist, Keith gets his head bashed in by that woman, right? That mother or whatever. And then of course, Tess is like, what the fuck? And then that's it. We cut to like Justin Long's character. He's like having a good old time in LA, driving his little car. Life's supposed to be going well. Turns out you're not on the show. It's not going to pilot. You have rape accusations. I'm like, yeesh, this guy is going through it. Ugh. And it's not a good situation for him to be in. But it was fun that a lot of his comedy came from him essentially not being in a horror movie, or maybe his horror movie being different than the rest of hers, like everyone else's. You know, he's dealing with all this crazy.
All those.
all those signs, everything. He's very much living in his own world. He's trying to liquidate his assets because he's gonna have to go to court. His financial manager drops him or whatever because he's broke now, and then he has to go. And it turns out he's the owner of that Airbnb, and he's got to go check up on his property, and that's what gets him there, right?
Yeah.
And so again, he's not in a horror movie. I don't even know what drives him downstairs. Well, it wasn't toilet paper again, was it?
The door was open. She left it open with the chair.
Right, but why did he go to the basement in the first place? Because he was checking out the place as a whole. Like, what the hell's up with all this stuff?
Well, yeah, he was trying to investigate why there were bags there.
Right, squatters.
He saw all her stuff, all Keith's stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
And he had no clue. Like, are these people breaking in, or like how did they get there?
I don't even think he made.
There was no booking.
He didn't even make it to the basement the first night too. I think he slept the night too.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Partying. He woke up and he
went partying. His friend asked him, "Did you really do it?" He's like, "No, man, I'm just persuasive." So the movie does a good job of like kind of towing the line a little bit, like trying to make you see things from his perspective. But like, was it really not? Was it really? By the end of it, you have a pretty solid opinion. You're like, nah, this guy's an asshole.
Yeah,
he probably did it. He probably did it. But I like the fact that they make you like they toe the line a tiny bit. You know what I mean? They give you a little bit of doubt. They're like, well, by the end of it, nah, he's an asshole. He did that shit. But again, like he goes down there. And then at some point, I don't remember because it's been about a week since we've seen it or more, it cuts to the 50s all of a sudden. I'm like, this movie's taken like 3 left turns already, like to tell you more and more of the story. It's like a bunch of layers. I'm like, what is going on here? So we see that dude's backstory, like the old white dude, how he's a creeper, how he stalks women, how he like gets into their homes and stuff.
Yep.
And then we're finally putting all these pieces together about how like this little weird sex dungeon and tunnel system is his. And like he's got this weird obsession with like mothers. It begs the question, did he even ever have a family, or was he always like a loner who just wanted a family and had a twisted view on it? I don't know.
Yeah, I guess he was by himself.
That's what I thought.
Probably.
I don't know. Either that or he never let his family see the light of day and just kept everyone in the basement and whatnot.
Yeah.
That was weird, but we saw the cages and all that, and like, how did this guy self-suffice for like 50 plus years? Okay, even if it took place in the 70s, that's like 4 decades of abusing people and having films. And who's paying the lights? Who's paying the electricity? Has no one come to investigate this place? I mean, I know it's Detroit and like, it's a seedy part, but come on, man. Like, I don't know. It baffled me that like he can get away from stuff that long.
I guess he probably has a day job.
Yeah, but Big A. Look, you see how old and decrepit he was by the end of the movie?
Well, yeah.
Okay. So how long has he been that old and that decrepit? When did the check stop coming in? Does he have a pension? How does this work?
Don't know.
Does
I mean, they barely gave us much on him.
I know. I'm nitpicking, but I'm just like,
just to set up.
It really was, and it was good though, because like they even give us more context about like how he had sex with women and he raped them, and then he had sex with their kids and then their kids, and like so this nasty mutation, incest, babies, super soldier serum, because that mother could take a fall and a punch.
No, yeah, she was taller than him.
She was a beast, bro. Like she could play in the NBA. I'm like she had the genes, bro. But she was a force to be reckoned with. Let me tell you. And it was really bittersweet though. Like you could tell the brainwashing was there. She didn't know English that well. All she wanted to do was be a mother.
She was living down there
her whole life, exactly. And there was like a real life person who was kept in captivity like that, and they just had the mental capacity of like a 2-year-old, and they were like fully grown. So that's what happens when you don't like raise a human being. It's just interesting. So it was really in that regard, it was really realistic and heartbreaking. And of course, AJ, Justin Long's character, finds Tess in that little hole a week later. And we learned that Tess has learned the lay of the land. Like she's got to be best
apparently,
friend.
I think it was actually 2 weeks later.
2 weeks?
Yeah.
Ugh. Dude, just being in the dark, like crapping stuff next to yourself in a hole. Like that's got to do a number on her psychologically. Yeesh. And so damn. Oof, that's a lot. And a lot of things happen. It gets very crazy towards the end. Like at some point, Tess makes it out. But I think when Justin Long's character gets dragged to the nursing room, that was rough.
That was
so uncomfortable. I was like, but it was kind of like ironic, like, it's like ironic justice. I was like, ugh. It was great though. It was bad in all the best ways. So she makes it out. She tries to convince like these piece of shit, no good police officers who don't care about anyone. Like, she comes off as like a crackhead. She looks disheveled. She's like, I'm not a meth head. You have to believe me. You got to come to this house. Right. It's haunted. They're like, this lady's fucking crazy. They don't believe her.
She's wasting his time.
Yeah. Exactly. And somehow she drags him out there. Yeah. And then they still look. They're like, you look like you broken into this place, ma'am. This isn't your residence. And they still end up just driving away, I think, right? Like they didn't even entertain anything.
Yeah, they got another call.
And they had to go. And I was like, damn. But I like that the fact that she went there, because like any reasonable person would be like, yo, I'm living in a horror movie. Go get the cops. What's going on here? Like, and then still the screaming matters are like, nah, no cops. Sorry. So everything kind of comes full circle when Tess is shot by AJ after going back down to try and help.
Right. Yeah.
Because AJ, of course, he doesn't kill the old man. He finds the old man's stash, and he's like, you sick old fuck. And I thought that was also very ironic. The fact that a alleged sexual abuser is passing judgment on an even worse sexual abuser.
Right.
And then, like, I don't know, just holding a mirror up to him and being like, how could you, this and that. I thought the old man was going to kill him, and then he blows his brains out.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I guess what else can you do in that state? You know, just kill yourself, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, he was about to.
He was already on death's door, right?
He was around there.
He was around there. That place looked rowdy. And so, yeah, of course, he puts a bullet in Tess unintentionally.
Oh, it was funny how that random hobo, he knew all about that.
He knew all the backstory.
All about the house.
Oh, he knew everything. I was like, that's a little convenient. Like
he thought the man was worse than the incest baby.
Yeah.
I guess not like physically dangerous,
but maybe like
at that,
like a threat maybe.
Yeah.
No, I love that because in the beginning of the film, that hobo runs after her, and of course we play it for horror, like, oh, crazy person's trying to get me, but no, he was trying to warn her.
Yeah.
And
I like how they did that too. Like,
there was good parallels because now she became the hobo to the police. If you think about it, a disheveled person trying to warn or bring attention to something, but you look crazy, so it's like appearances. It's a whole lot, man. I love it. It's a really well thought out and well done film. So again, by the end, Tess is helped out by AJ out of the basement. It's nighttime. I think they meet up with the old man. They see him on the street or something like that, and they end up making it to his where he stays, right? Because she remembers, she's like, we gotta go down by the whatever.
Yeah, and that was the only place that
she could think of.
She never went.
Exactly. And so they went thinking they'd be safe. Yeah. She busts through the wall. I was like, what is going on right now? She beats the old man to death with his arm. She rips his arm off like it's a stick and just like beats him to death with it. I'm surprised he didn't yell more. He just kind of took it and was silent.
He's like in shock or something.
Yeah, I was like, what is going on here? And of course, Tess and AJ run up a little like gas or water tower or whatever.
Yeah, the water tower.
And dude, they barely make it up like an idiot. I think fucking AJ drops the gun. He like pulls it out and he like drops it.
Yeah, immediately he like tries whipping it out and just fumbles.
I was like, you fucking horror movie logic motherfucker. I hated it.
Twice he did that.
He fumbles the bag every time, bro. Every time. And of course, the mother's trying to come up and get him on the stairs. And then, dude, he fucking kicks Tess off or whatever.
No, he grabs her by
the hair and flings her off. I was like, what is going on right now? Dude, it was then I was like, nah, he did that shit. That's him. He did that shit. And he's like, I'm sorry, forgive me. Bro, and then she goes, it's all dramatic. Dude, like the CG monster comes after her and like saves her. Literally grabs her and saves her. I was like, what is going on right now? And dude, she lives through that. Both of them. The monster too. The mother, she lives through that. And then like AJ gets down, and then I think she finally wakes up and like claws out AJ's eyes, right, with her like long nails. And then so AJ's dead. And then poor Tess, I think she really saw Tess as like a daughter that she never had. And Tess is obviously like scared out of her mind. So she takes the gun. She doesn't even know what a gun is. I was like, that's good. I love that touch. You know what I mean? And then boom, gets like blasted in the face. And then that's it. Tess just gets to walk back to, I don't know, the house and get a car and then like make her way out. Like that's just how it ends, right?
Yeah. She just walks away and
that's it. Yeah. Dude, I was like, what the hell, man? It was such a ride. I was like, what is going on here? But as much as I loved it, the little contrivances, they were little nitpicks. But why didn't Tess leave? She had so many opportunities to leave. I know, like I think they chalk it up to her being like a good person, wanting to help others. But I'm like, girl, you could have ended this horror movie like 4 times, and you didn't. But I mean, it is what it is. That's what you get with horror movies. But I mean, like, do you have any other lasting thoughts or?
Well, it's funny, like, cause she was kind of the hero in a sense.
For sure, yeah, definitely the protagonist, no doubt.
And like the guys ended up just being like a nuisance for her safety.
Yeah,
in that way, like both of them put her at more risk than she did herself.
Exactly.
I think that's kind of what the movie was getting at a little bit.
I definitely think it was.
Like all the men within that story were problematic in their own way.
Right. And they only hindered her, like you said, they didn't necessarily bring her closer to safety. They kind of just took her away from it or didn't help.
Yeah. Or were the danger themselves, like the old man.
Exactly. And yeah, that's rough. And it's weird how like the woman, like the mother that was like still down there, that captive mother, she was technically played as like the horror aspect, like the antagonist, if you would, but it's only because she was made that way. You know
right.
what I
Yeah.
mean?
She's a victim.
She is a
herself.
victim as well. Exactly. And it's the whole misrepresenting of like not understanding where everyone's coming from, not knowing the full context and all that stuff. And all that plays there. It's really good. And so like that, it was a really good commentary on all that. Like that was done really well. So, and that's what I appreciate about some horror movies is like they're forced to be really good storytellers because that's pretty much all you can rely on. You know what I mean? So I really, really enjoyed it. And I thought for the genre, it was like a solid 9 out of 10. I really liked it. I don't, maybe there's amazing ones I don't know about but in my experience, like most horror films are just like, Catholicism, blood. And like, that's it. That's the whole thing. And I'm like, so that's just a turn off for me in my childhood. But what did you think about it? And give it a little rating for me real quick.
Honestly, at first I didn't really think it was like that good of a movie. I thought it had a lot of contrivances, but rewatching it, like it gave more like a philosophical like look at like the world as it is now.
Right.
And with that in mind, like I think this movie is a more solid movie than I gave it credit for. Like,
solid
the first time.
Well, I'm glad that a rewatch like helped you see that because I kind of got that from the first viewing, and I was like, nah, this is like really solid. Like they're trying to tell you something with it, and I was like, I appreciated that. It wasn't just horror flick. Like there was more to it. So in that sense, I thought it was very good too. So very solid. Highly recommend. If you haven't seen it, I don't know why you're watching this, but spoiler alert, sorry. But that's our review of Barbarian. You got anything else?
No, yeah.
All right. For Media Munchers, I'm Nathan.
And I'm Adrian.
I'm going to catch you on the flip side.